training Power App Solutions in minutes. In today's video, we're going to perform kind of a hybrid application in order to pursue the objective of, when I'm in the field as a sales executive and I'm gathering leads, I want to be able to gather those leads on my mobile phone. And then when I create a lead, be able to have an account and contact as well as an opportunity created based on the information that's provided. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. First things first, there's going to be two components. There's going to be a PowerAutomate job, and this is an advanced lesson. And then there's also going to be a Canvas app that we will build. So we'll start with the PowerAutomate job because that's going to really define how we actually build out the Canvas app. So let's go ahead and start in our advanced lessons solution. And what we'll do is we'll create a new cloud flow. And we'll call this create contact account and opportunity from lead. Okay. So then right here, what we're going to use is we're going to use the PowerApps connector. So let's talk a little bit about this real quick. This PowerApps connector is a trigger. What's you're going to find that's really interesting about this PowerApps connector, and you have to be very careful, is that everything that feeds into this PowerApps connector is going to come from the Canvas app that we're going to build. So you'll understand over time as we're building this out that everything that we want to capture about the lead to create the contact, account, and opportunity is going to be fundamentally driven by the inputs from the Canvas app into this Power App connector, which is going to provide us these outputs, right? All right, so let's create a new step. This is really simple. What we're going to do here is we're going to initialize a variable, and we're going to call this first name. And then we're going to go ahead and give the variable the name of first name. And it is a string. And then we're going to copy this to our clipboard and leverage this functionality to create a couple more of these. And so now we can start tinkering around with, okay, so a variable that's last name and a variable that's middle name and a variable that is company name. So initialize another variable. Because the goal here is to try to deliver these solutions quickly for you so that you can understand what we can do, what's available to us, and then expand it to your own vision for the business requirements that you're working with for your clients. I haven't populated any of these yet. All I know is that they're strings, and I'll get into that shortly. So in a previous video, we had built out a lead entity, a custom lead entity that interfaces with the opportunity, the account, and the contact. And it is a parental entity to those three. So I'm just essentially initializing variables that are going to capture certain key components. So this one is going to be street one. Actually, no, this is going to be email. Forgive me. And then another one. And then this one's going to be street one. This will all start to make sense shortly. Street 2 These are all fields that live on the lead entity we created in a prior video. And you think to yourself, why is he creating so many variables? Well, it'll make sense shortly, because the reality is that the PowerApps connector has some complexities that can make things issues, and that's why I wanted to build this first before we deal with the Canvas app. So let's see here. We're going to go ahead and initialize another variable for the state. Another string. This one's a string. This one's a string. Okay, it's looking good. Then we're going to do another one here for the zip. Forgive my dog. He obviously saw something outside there. Zip code. A string. And then next thing we're going to do here is our final one, I think, here, which is going to be country region. Country region. Okay. And then now what we're going to do is, this is where it starts to get interesting. So inside of each of these variables that are going to be fed into this PowerApps connector, we need to use an ask in PowerApps component here. So let's try that out here and see how that works. So when you do an ask in PowerApps, what this does, it's actually pretty brilliant what Microsoft did here, is it immediately creates an association here that we can then leverage in our Canvas app later. Notice how the label name is critical. That's why I named every single one of these variables. So first name underscore value. If I do another ask in PowerApps here, last name underscore value. If I do another ask, so you kind of see the pattern, right? Um, this one we're going to have to deal with as is because it's called what it is. Actually, we can get away with this. We can go ahead and remove this and rename this accordingly, middle name, right? And then do an ask in PowerApps. Now, the downside is that, and that's what I was trying to avoid, is what, and it's probably good that you see this, that what it's done is it's forced me to populate the first name 3 underscore value. So it's going to be looking for that in the Canvas app. So the way we'll deal with that is we will just pass the exact same value um, of middle name to first name value, or we'll just pass a blank string um, just so that we can get around it. And then company name. So notice how it's going based off the name of the step. So asking Power Apps company name. Okay, great. This one is email, and this one's going to be asking Power Apps. All right, very good. Once again, right here we're going to do more asking Power Apps street 1 value, and then right here we're going to do asking Power Apps street 2 value. Let's take a look at the city. Looks good. Asking Power Apps city value. Zip code. Asking Power Apps. All right. And then what we're going to do here is asking Power Apps for country region. All right, let's save this for now. Um, oh, I think last name. Let's see. What is this flow checker telling us? What don't you like? Oh, it's probably because of the name. That makes sense, right? Can't have two variables with the same name. That's logical, right? All right. So we save it. Should let us save it. We're not quite done yet, though. So what we're going to go ahead and do is when we receive these values, and it's going to be a singular value that the sales executive in the field is filling out when he's with his client, is we're going to take these values and we're going to do some simple things here. We're going to add a new row, and this new row is going to be create the contact. So you can kind of see where this is going. So then we're going to leverage that and go and pull the contact. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to populate the first name based on our variable of first name. So now it's starting to come together, right? We're going to populate the email based on the email. We're going to populate the last name, which is a required field right here based on our variable. Remember, this is one record at a time that's going to be coming in. We're going to go ahead and populate the description using the, I just realized, I think we need that topic field. So let's use that topic field as well here. So let's initialize one more variable. Topic. Topic. It'll be a string and asking PowerApps. Topic value. Okay. So then right here for the description, we'll just give it a the value of the topic. That's perfectly fine. And then we didn't add a mobile phone field yet into our entity. That's perfectly fine. Email's fine. So we're creating the contact. Let's see. I think we're missing a couple things, right? We're still missing address one, country, region. So let's populate that. We're missing address one, street one. So let's look for that. And sometimes it's just called street one. So let's take a look. It might just be street one. Nope, it's not. It's address one, street something. I see street three. Here it is. All right, so here's street one. Here's street two, if it's provided. Here's the city. Here's the zip. Um, so we have a full address, I think. Let's see. City. Oh no, we need a state as well. That's usually the address one, state, province. Let's see if I can find it. Must be blind. Where is that state province? Oh, here you are. It was hiding. So let's pass that state in. I think we have a full address. I think we have everything we need for the contact. Let's go ahead and let's see. Our flow checker is not happy. You may break your power app. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so that should be sufficient to create this contact. There is one more thing that we need to deal with here, and what that is here is, remember that field we created, originating lead? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find out um, what that backend schema name of that um, Dataverse component is. So let's take a peek and let's go ahead and add an existing component here. Let's add the table and we'll add the lead, and we need to find out exactly, and there it is, DTA leads, DTA underscore lead, and then it'll be plural. So what we need to do here in our flow is go DTA underscore leads, using the syntax that Microsoft has provided for Dataverse, and then pass in the specific lead value. Now, to get that lead value, what we will have to do is we're going to have to initialize another variable. So we're kind of working this as I go here. This will be a string. And in this case, we have to make sure we ask in PowerApps, what is that lead ID value, right? So we'll work with that. And then the next video, what we'll do is build out that Canvas app. But first, let's build out the logic for this one that's going to consume everything and create things. So now what I can do is say, okay, well, for the originating lead that's going to be connected to this, which is the parent, I'm going to pass in the originating lead ID from the record and the application that they're using. And there you have it. So now I've created that association. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create the account. But before we do that, let's check one more thing here. The company name, the account hasn't been created, so there's going to be, we have to create that contact first. We'll go ahead and create the account now, so let's add a new row. And we do actually have an advantage here. If we create the account first, then we don't have to update the contact later, right? So we're going to create an account. And then right here, the account name is going to be the value of company name. And then right here for address one city, we're just going to start doing the same thing we were doing before. We're just passing in these dynamic components that are coming in from the Canvas app. And for the description, we can use the topic. The primary contact we have to deal with right now. Let's just look at the other address fields, country, region. Okay. And then here, what we want to do is just make sure we don't miss any of these. We want it to be a full, complete data set. So there's street 1, street 2, city, state, zip, country. Okay, that looks good. And then for the originating lead, I think we said it was slash DTA underscore leads, and then we'll pass in the lead ID, right? Nothing new. That creates that relationship there. All right. And then let's see if there's anything else we could potentially populate. We can populate the email address for now based on the email that we have collected. And I think that should be sufficient. Let me just double, triple check here. Just a bare bones account with an address and a name and an email and a description. Okay, great. So now the cool thing is this contact, I can link this contact to the accounts entity simply by just using this here. So what we're going to do here is accounts. And then what's really cool here is I have access, right? When I created the account, I need the unique identifier of the account. So let's just type in unique right here, take a shortcut. And now I can pass that account that I just created right before and link it to as a parent to the contact. So we're getting close. We still have a little bit more work to do. Now we're going to go ahead and create the opportunity. So add another row. Okay. And then for this, we'll pass in the topic. The description can also be the topic for now. And let's see here. What we want to do here is take the contacts table value that we've created, and that's why I like using unique. Sometimes you just can't find it. So here's the unique identifier of the contact right here. Close my parentheses, save the record. So now I've associated the opportunity to the contact. Cool. Might as well do it for the account too, right? And then let's see here. Accounts. We're going to pass in the unique identifier of the account from the step that we got it from. Close our parentheses. And then let's see here. Is there anything else that we want to do here? Yep. We want to connect our originating lead here. Based on the lead ID. Save it. So now we've created a account, a contact, and an opportunity, and the opportunity is not only connected to both the contact and the account, but it's also going to be connected to the originating lead, and both the contact and the account are connected to the originating lead. So let's check our code, make sure that we don't have any syntactical errors. I'm not concerned about the mapping of these types of variables, but what I am interested in is whenever we've used this kind of syntax, we got to be careful that parentheses are where they need to be, slashes, etc. All of that looks good there. And then right here, once again, slash accounts. Okay, looks good. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. Very good, very good. Let's just keep an eye out. Here's another one, slash underscore DTA or slash DTA underscore leads, lead ID. It's closed out, looks good. Right here is the opportunity. Yep, everything looks really good here. So in our next video, what we're going to actually do is call this flow, this PowerAutomate job slash flow, and it's going to do all this cool stuff. And we're going to call it using a Canvas app. So um, that video is incoming. Thank you so much for watching.